Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a night that's about to go down in late-night television history, where the twang of country music collides with the sharp wit of Hollywood satire in the most unexpected way imaginable. Picture this, the bustling studio lights of Jimmy Kimmel Live, buzzing with that electric energy that only a live audience can provide, as the band plays a lively intro tune, and the crowd erupts in applause for the man of the hour, the one and only Blake Shelton. He's striding out onto the stage with that signature swagger, his tall frame clad in a crisp button-down shirt tucked into jeans that scream Oklahoma roots, his blonde hair perfectly tousled, and a grin that's equal parts charming and mischievous. Blake's no stranger to the spotlight, with a career spanning decades, hits like God's Country and Honey Bee under his belt, and a voice that's as smooth as aged whiskey. He's the king of country crossover appeal. But tonight, on September 28, 2025, just a day shy of our current date, something's brewing beneath that easygoing exterior. Jimmy Kimmel, the host who's built an empire on poking fun at celebrities with a mix of self-deprecation and sly jabs, is in rare form, his dark suit impeccable, his smile as disarming as ever. The audience, a sea of eager faces from all walks of life, fans in cowboy hats rubbing shoulders with urban hipsters, leans in, sensing the chemistry that's about to ignite. As Blake settles into the guest chair, the couch that has hosted everyone from presidents to pop stars, he waves to the crowd, his deep laugh booming over the speakers. "Jimmy, it's good to be here, man. La's a far cry from the farm, but I reckon I can handle a little city slicker talk," he drawls, his Oklahoma accent thick and endearing, drawing chuckles from the room. The conversation meanders into the heart of Blake's music, where vulnerability meets resilience, and that's when Jimmy decides to turn up the heat, his questions laced with that subtle edge that has made him a late-night legend. "Blake, Backroad Redemption, man, it's raw. Tracks like Whiskey Wisdom feel like confessions from a guy who's seen some miles. What's the story behind that one? Late nights on the tour bus, or something closer to home with Gwen?" he asks, referencing Blake's high-profile marriage to Gwen Stefani, the no-doubt icon who's become his rock in the spotlight. The audience murmurs appreciatively, a few whoops for the power couple, and Blake leans back, his smile genuine but guarded. "Gwen's my anchor, no doubt about it. That song's about those moments when life's thrown you curveballs, divorces, doubts, the whole rodeo, and you find your way back with a little liquid courage and a lot of heart. It's not just my story, it's every working man's hymn." Jimmy's eyebrows arch, his laugh a touch too sharp. "Curveballs, huh? Like judging on The Voice all those years, or maybe navigating the cancel culture minefield that Nashville's been dodging lately." There's a pause, the kind that stretches just long enough to make the room hold its breath, and Blake's easy demeanor flickers, like a flame catching wind. He's no rookie, his face tabloid storms and Twitter trolls, but Jimmy's jab feels personal, probing at the underbelly of country music's recent reckonings with politics and progressivism. Blake shifts in his seat, his large hands clasping the armrest. With the air thickening like humidity before a downpour, Jimmy doubles down, his probe delving deeper into the chasm between Blake's world and the one he inhabits, turning what should be a promotional puff piece into a cultural flashpoint. "Come on, Blake, you're a bridge builder, country to pop, farm to fame. But that endorsement? It ruffled feathers. Some fans boycotted your tour, called you out for not evolving. How do you square that with your everyman's man vibe?" Jimmy's words are velvet-wrapped steel, delivered with the precision of a man who's skewered A-listers from afar but rarely up close like this. The audience is riveted, some cheering Blake's earlier clapback, others murmuring in agreement with Jimmy's point, the divide palpable even in this diverse crowd. Blake's response is measured at first, his voice a low rumble that commands attention. "Evolving? Jimmy, I ain't a chameleon. I stand for what I believe, protecting what's mine, whether it's family, land, or liberty. Boycotts? Let them boycott. I'll keep singing for the ones who get it." Applause erupts from pockets of the room, cowboy hats tipping in respect, but Jimmy waves it off with a chuckle that's starting to grate. "Liberty, who? Sounds like a campaign slogan. But let's be real, in 2025, with all the noise about unity, isn't it time for icons like you to lead on the big stuff, not just strum along?" The question hangs heavy, laced with implication, and Blake's patience frays visibly, his fingers drumming the armrest like a metronome counting down to detonation. The heat in the room escalates to fever pitch, words flying like sparks from a grinding wheel, as Jimmy, undeterred by Blake's mounting ire, circles back with a quip that's equal parts clever and cruel, designed to disarm yet destined to detonate. Sanctimony? From the guy who coaches sincerity on TV but endorses policies that leave half the country sidelined? That's rich, Blake, like a vegan selling ribeyes. The line draws scattered laughs from Jimmy's loyalists in the audience, but it's a misfire, the punchline landing flat against the rising tide of Blake's resolve. His eyes, usually twinkling with humor, now burn with the fire of a man pushed to his limit, the studio lights casting harsh shadows that accentuate the lines of determination on his face. Blake rises halfway from his seat, not fully standing but enough to signal the shift, his voice booming with that resonant timbre that fills arenas. Sidelined? You think gun rights and God-fearing values sideline folks? That's the bubble talking, Jimmy, your bubble, where everyone's a victim and nobody's accountable. Try telling that to the farmers freezing their asses off at dawn, not sipping lattes in limos. The rebuke thunders, raw and righteous, echoing off the rafters, and the audience fractures audibly, cheers from the back rows clashing with uneasy silence up front. Jimmy's composure cracks for the first time, his grin faltering into a tight-lipped smirk, but he rallies with a deflection that's pure showman. Farmers? Hey, I respect the hustle, Blake, but come on, your values include backing a guy who called immigrants poison? How's that not divisive? The accusation slices through, invoking a specific tweet from Blake's feed last election cycle, one he'd posted in haste amid the frenzy, now weaponized in this arena. Blake's breath catches, the mention hitting like a gut punch, dredging up regrets he'd buried under layers of melody and mentorship. As the verbal volleys reach their zenith, Blake's frustration crests like a wave breaking on jagged rocks, his body language screaming what words can no longer contain, a stiffening spine, clenched fists, the subtle lean away from the man who's transformed camaraderie into combat. Jimmy, sensing the peril but committed to the bit, lobs one final grenade, his voice rising to match the intensity. Bully? Blake, I'm just asking the questions America wants answered. You're a star, own the spotlight, shadows and all. The plea is wrapped in righteousness, but to Blake, it's gasoline on the blaze, the patronizing tone the final straw in a bale of provocations. He surges to his feet now, fully rising, his 6'5" frame towering over the desk like a oak in a squall, the microphone clipped to his lapel picking up every ragged breath. Own it? I've owned every damn mile, from honky-tonks to headlines. But you? You're mining misery for laughs, twisting truths to fit your script. Enough. The declaration booms, reverberating through the speakers, and the audience gasps collectively, a tidal wave of shock crashing over them. Chairs scrape as some stand, unsure whether to intervene or immortalize, phones flashing like paparazzi at a premiere. Jimmy, caught off guard, half rises too, hands outstretched in mock surrender. Blake, sit, let's cool it, talk this out. But Blake's beyond cooling, his face a storm cloud of betrayal, the trust shattered in shards that glitter under the Klieg lights. He yanks the mic from his shirt with a rip of Velcro, the sound amplified and awkward, tossing it onto the couch like discarded baggage. Talk? We've talked plenty, your talk, my trial.